(8:45 p.m). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Malvarachi, assisted by Sanjaya, and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The President instructs the officials to use the funds spent on chemical fertilizer to encourage the organic fertilizer production. The second round of the COVID vaccination program will commence on the 8th of next month. Another consignment of the Russian COVID-19 vaccine, Sputnik V, will arrive tonight. 2,572 more persons have tested positive for the coronavirus today, increasing the total to 174,849. Ports, petroleum services, the railway and public transportation services, the district secretaries, the Grama Nilidhari services, and the state banks and insurance services have been declared as essential services. The post offices will function tomorrow to pay pensions. China denounces US efforts to further investigate whether COVID-19 came from a Chinese lab. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the relevant officials to take steps to provide organic fertilizer required for the Maha season to the farmers without any shortage. The President has also emphasized the importance of implementing a comprehensive mechanism in consultation with all the sectors. In this regard, the President's media division stated. The President's objective is to transform the entire agricultural sector of the country to use organic fertilizers. President Rajapaksa pointed out the need to achieve this goal, which aims for the benefit of the future generations without causing any hindrance to the farmers. For this purpose, the production capacity of organic fertilizers should be increased. The President instructed the officials to import the required quantity of high-quality organic fertilizer if the quantity of fertilizer produced locally is not sufficient. The President gave these instructions during a special discussion held with the officials of the Ministry of Agriculture and the organic fertilizer manufacturers at the Presidential Secretariat recently. The head of the National Operations Centre to Prevent COVID-19, Army Commander Shavindra Silva, says that the second round of the COVID vaccination program will commence on the 8th of next month. Accordingly, the group which was given the first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine will be given the second dose. The Army Commander said that 375,000 doses have been allocated for them. Those vaccine doses have been set apart from the 500,000 Sinopharm vaccine doses received from China. The remaining 125,000 doses will be given to persons in the Galla, Matara and the Kurunegala districts selected from the priority list of the Health Ministry. Sri Lanka is expected to get 3 million Sinopharm vaccine doses from China. Meanwhile, another consignment of the Russian COVID-19 vaccine Sputnik V is expected to arrive in Sri Lanka today. The stock of 50,000 doses of the vaccine is set to be delivered tonight at the Katunayaka airport. The COVID vaccination program was launched today in select areas in the Galla and Matara districts. The vaccination program will be conducted on the recommendations of the Epidemiology Unit. The Ministry of Health reports that another 2,572 persons have tested positive for the coronavirus today. All the new cases are associated with the New Year COVID-19 cluster. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country thus far to 174,849. Presently, 29,652 infected patients are being treated at hospitals and treatment centres across the island. Meanwhile, the number of total recoveries has reached 143,789. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Postmaster General Ranjit Aryaratna says that all post offices and sub-post offices will be kept open from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow and the day after. These post offices are functioning only to pay the allowances and the pensions related to the month of May. People who come to obtain their provisions and pensions and their senior citizen allowances should submit their pensioner's ID and the elder's identity card. That's local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
An extraordinary gazette has been issued declaring several services as essential services considering the current COVID-19 situation in the country. The ports, the petroleum services, the railway and public transportation services, the services offered by the district secretaries, the Grama Nidadari officers, the local government bodies and the central bank and state banks with insurance services have been declared as essential services.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Malpractices have been reported from institutions under the Wildlife and Forest Conservation Ministry and the departments. Minister C.B. Ratnayaka said that a special unit will be established considering the complaints made by the people. He said that the cabinet has given its approval to set up the unit. That was Watchlight, and now in world news headlines. China denounces US efforts to further investigate whether COVID-19 came from a Chinese lab. Different COVID vaccines given to 20 in India jab mix-up. Indian YouTuber arrested for flying a dog with helium balloons. China has denounced US efforts to further investigate whether COVID-19 came from a Chinese lab. US President Joe Biden has called on intelligence officials to redouble their work to find out how the virus was first transmitted to humans. China's foreign ministry accused the US of political manipulation and blame shifting. It has rejected any link between COVID-19 and a virus research lab in the Chinese city of Wuhan. 20 people in North India have been given 2 different coronavirus jabs for their first and second doses. They were given a shot of Covishield AstraZeneca in early April, but then got the locally developed Covaxin as part of their second dose in May. India has not allowed the mixing of vaccines, and studies are going on around the world to see if different doses can be safely administered. Officials said the 20 people were healthy and had no side effects. The Indian police have arrested a YouTuber for tying helium balloons to his pet dog in an attempt to make it fly. Gaurav Sharma, 32, shot a video showing his dog attached to balloons, which he then lets go off as the pet starts to fly in the air. A few seconds later, someone in the balcony of the second floor of a building catches the dog. Mr. Sharma said he followed all safety measures but deleted the video after social media backlash. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. China denounces US efforts to further investigate whether COVID-19 came from a Chinese lab. Different COVID vaccines given to 20 in India jab mix-up. Indian YouTuber arrested for flying a dog with helium balloons. That was world news, and now in development news. State Minister Sashindra Rajapaksa says that the national program to popularize the use of organic fertilizer among the farmers is progressing successfully at present. The program is now functioning at 100 agrarian services centres island-wide. That was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan නෙවෙයි.
Fast bowler Jafar Archer is ready to sit out the summer in order to be fit for the 2020 World Cup and the Ashes later this year. The 26-year-old had surgery on his troublesome right elbow on Friday and has started rehabilitation with the England and Sussex medical teams. Archer had an injection for the long-standing elbow problem in March and has played only 2 matches since then. That was Sports News.
My wife always sets a full lunch table even if it's just the 2 of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan නෙවෙයි.
Contributory deposit of ₹1,000 from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Airport and Aviation Services Authority says that Sri Lanka has lifted a temporary ban on foreign arrivals imposed to contain a coronavirus crisis from June 1st, but a restriction on Indian travellers will remain in place. All arrivals will be subject to a 14-day quarantine regardless of any vaccination.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of ₹1,000 from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
And now in economic news, Co-Cabinet spokesman Udaya Gammanpilla said Sri Lanka is awarding a deal for the Build, Operate, Transfer elevated expressway in the capital Colombo to the China Harbour Engineering Corporation. A cabinet-appointed negotiations committee has recommended that the Build, Operate, Transfer deal be awarded to the CHEC after calling for proposals in April 2021. Minister Udaya Gammanpilla said the elevated expressway will be handed back to Sri Lanka after operating it for 15 years. That was economic news.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue in partnership with the Ministry of Education introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and the northwestern provinces and in the Gala and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 millimetres, can be expected at some places in the western and the Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Gala, Mathura, Kandy and the Nuwara Eliya districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara and the Batticaloa districts during the evening or night. Wind speeds can increase up to 40 kilometres per hour at times over the island, and especially wind speeds can increase up to 50 kilometres per hour at times the western slopes, the central hills, the northern, the north central and the northwestern provinces, and in the Trincomalee and the Hambantota districts.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue in partnership with the Ministry of Education introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The President instructs the officials to use the funds spent on the chemical fertilizer to encourage the organic fertilizer production. The second round of the COVID vaccination program will commence on the 8th of next month. Another consignment of the Russian COVID-19 vaccine Sputnik V will arrive tonight. 2,572 more persons have tested positive for the coronavirus today, increasing the total to 174,849. Ports, petroleum services, railway and public transportation services, the district secretaries, the Grama Lidari services and the state banks and insurance services have been declared as essential services. The post offices will function tomorrow to pay pensions. China denounces US efforts to further investigate whether COVID-19 came from a Chinese lab. That concludes this news broadcast.